Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video and welcome back to another Challenger Spectate. So today we're actually back on EU West and we're watching Rank 1 EU West. And the reason for it is, we've been having a little Korea holiday recently and you guys have been enjoying the Korea episodes, but I didn't want to forget about my own server and especially all the pros that have gone now to Worlds are in China and they're playing on the super server. Meanwhile, a crazy invade is actually happening and they find an Ornn. The Jarvan is, however, not there, which actually could work as a distraction that they saw Jarvan here. Oh, they're not invading, but they actually did. Yeah, all the Worlds pros are playing on the super server in China. So that does leave the pros that haven't gone to Worlds left on their own servers, EU West, North America, etc. So this player, Anguin, which I believe is a pro player, is currently rank 1 on EU West. And what piqued my interest was this pick, Jarvan. So Jarvan has been obviously a champion in League. While I move my chair a little bit more up to give support. He's been around for obviously the main majority of League of Legends, I want to say. I can't remember if he was a starting champion, but it must be close if he wasn't. Definitely a Season 1 champion. And I've always liked Jarvan. He's pretty basic, but there's also, what I like about him, he's basic, but there's actually advanced things within the champion that really good Jarvans will pull off, such as the EQ flash. So obviously the flash kind of technique can be done on many champions, like Lee Sin might be the most famous one, that you kick, flash just after it, and it changes the direction of the kick, and you can't kind of counter it, if he gets it off. Jarvan has that too, with his knock-up. He can extend his knock-up, or even completely flash in a different direction, and maintain the knock-up as long as he does it correctly. Meanwhile, he goes for a kind of a weird invade, actually. Kayn is on the Wraiths. He may have wanted to do that because some Kayns do Wraiths first, then they do Red. And maybe the Jarvan would have found the Kayn on the Red itself. But nope, the Kayn started Red. And that invade, unfortunately for Jarvan, was a bit of a waste of time. But this game, yes, Akali, by the way, is in the game. Near enough, I'd say in my Challenger Spectates, this champion has near enough 100% presence. And even when we say presence, it's not just like they're in the game. If they're not in the game, it's pretty much banned. But obviously this game didn't get banned and it's in the game. No Samira in this episode, but I will say in the upcoming Challenger Spectate, I will be doing a Samira episode just to see what happens with Challenger, because there are still, obviously, as there always is, a vast amount of opinions about new champions. Is it overpowered? Is it actually not that bad? Is it weak? And the thing is, when you're watching the peak levels of play, that is where you probably can tell if a champion's overpowered or not. Anything can work in lower ratings. But if a champion does have a counter, well, you'd presume in Challenger, they would play to that counter. They would counter Samira if they can. If they can't counter Samira, well, that's when the overpowered term can come into play. So I will do an episode on her in the next couple of days. And again, if you guys can do me a favor and do throw a like on the video. And I just say, again, speaking from, it sounds kind of dodgy. Meanwhile, Kayn going for an invade finds the Jarvan. That probably wouldn't go well for Kayn in the long run because he's in Jarvan's territory. Malphite can get there a little bit faster. So the Kayn, oh, there's another fight happening. No knock-up for Jarvan. Kayn dodges it. But I was about to say, speaking a little bit from the heart, if I may, if you watch my stream, you will know. If you don't watch my stream, which is fine, I've been having a hard time on League of Legends recently, and I've said quite a lot of us have been. But so much so that my last 3 days worth of streaming, I haven't had a day off in the last 3 days. I've been just playing ranked, playing, League. All three have been very demoralizing, very bad. The game quality is very low, and I just can't, I'm still getting videos, but they're generally lost videos, and I'm feeling that I'm doing okay in them, but it is demoralizing every day. It's like, oh, there's another loss, or there's another unfortunate, defeat. So I'm trying my best. So these videos, to me, I've said a few times, they're very healthy for me personally. Especially, I'll always try my main video of the day to be a live commentary. But for the second video of the day, right now, these are fantastic to do. So hopefully you guys don't mind that. They're educational. We get to see the peak level of play. And we get to learn things. Look right now in mid lane. So Lucian mid is obviously there to be a lane bully. Akali known to be very strong champion. Akali's 2-0, but look at the farm difference. So that lesson right there, Akali's on 23 farm, Lucian's on 36. Sometimes people look at that and go, clearly Akali's doing bad. It's just not necessarily true. What you have to learn with League of Legends, and why I like doing these episodes, is you have to play within your means. Akali is against a lane bully Lucian. It's a bit of a cheesy pick. AD carry builds a lead early with Ignite. High auto attack damage compared to spell damage of Akali in the early game. So she's not going to take every farm. She's going to lose farm, and she will be completely okay with that, because that's the trade-off. She knows she beats him later. That's the whole point of like a Lucian mid. It's a ticking time bomb of, can Lucian get far enough ahead that he can snowball? And if he can't, well, then he's in a lane where, you know, you're against an Akali. She one-shots AD carries for fun. So I like doing these because some people go, oh, clearly Akali's farming bad. How's she challenger? Because if you understand kind of the in-depth things about the game, it's fine. Meanwhile, gank going on all in the top lane. He actually uses E a little bit too early. Gonna get... Oh, no. Maybe not too early. Uses the Fire Breath to avoid the knockup. Really good timing on Malphite ultimate to deny the Ornn ultimate. Kayn now going to go aggressive on Jarvan. Jarvan probably going to go down. Does go down. Will Kayn go down in the end, though? Looks like it. Double kill Malphite. Really nice play. Jarvan won't mind too much dying to that. But also worth noting, if you look at the farm difference between the junglers, Kayn is also 10 farm ahead. And that, again, is the just difference of the junglers. It's a modern jungler, Kayn, versus a old school jungler, Jarvan. If you actually look into most of these situations, it's very common that the modern jungler just has more than the old. Now, this is weird. That Caitlyn, again, we're in Challenger. That Caitlyn just ran into trying to kill a Lux when there's a Jhin at full health just beaming. That's a Call of Duty term. But yeah, just absolutely owning the Caitlyn, and she didn't really notice, which is a bit weird. But it's mistakes. We're humans. Not everyone's going to play perfect all the time. So Akali does a little bit of a trade, does have to back out. Jarvan just lands level 6, so is looking for a gank potentially now. And is going to get stopped. No, never mind. Enemy team in weird positioning, actually. Jarvan go for it. Gets the knock-up on 1. Isn't going to go for it. It does go for the ult finish. I think he was wanting to kind of hold the ultimate as much as he can. Auto-attack damage coming through. Morgana is going to go down, but this is giving Jarvan time to do more damage and Caitlyn to arrive. She does get the kill on the Kayn. Caitlyn now continuing to try and get on the Lux, but she will manage to get away. But I think that Jarvan, again, he was trying to hold his ultimate. Like, do I need to use my ultimate to kill the Jhin here? I really don't want to, because if he could have killed Jhin without his ultimate, he could have then used the ultimate on the Lux. I think that's what the play he wanted to do, but obviously he couldn't in the end because Kayn showed up. But what is a good play is Dragon. Again, every jungler practically, I would say in the game, that's a meta, not off-roll jungler. And even off-roll junglers probably can do dragons fairly easily. And there's Akali obviously killing the Lucian, which I think was a tower dive, by the way. Yeah, Lucian died under tower. So yeah, the Lucian just didn't build a big enough lead. And now, Kayn's dead. The Lucian's in trouble. That's the problem with picking something like Lucian in mid. It can work. We've seen it work. But yeah, Caitlyn again mispositioning in a 2v1 this time and is just accepting the death. She's trying to waste their time a little bit more. Isn't going to do that much. Can she get one farm? Hey, she got one farm before she died. Worth? Probably not. Jarvan going to go back though. And what I like is he's going the aggression build. So Warrior, not Cinderhulk. And then there's another longsword. So he's going aggro Jarvan. He's running Conqueror. That's the only surprise that I would say is Jarvan. He's known for many different builds. Tank, pure tank, bruiser, or kind of an assassin type build, which is actually quite fun. But normally you go electrocute for it because the combo is like EQ, auto attack, ultimate, and it procs electrocute and just one-shots people. But obviously he's running Conqueror. Mainly, I don't know, Conqueror is just very strong right now. Morgana dies as well, by the way, in bot lane. So the bot lane is struggling. Yeah, even though, you know, it's going okay, they are dying. Triple kill, or not triple kill, double kill for the Jhin. They are struggling here or there. Lucian roams down to try and do something positive, and that's, again, a good lesson to have. He's 0-3. It's an Akali. She's snowballing. I'm going to keep dying to this Akali, so what is Jhin doing? I'll go roam to try and help my team build a lead, because mid lane is kind of over for me now. So Jarvan going to try and complete the Rift Herald before Kayn comes over to ruin his day. Kayn engaging on the Malphite, and there could be a big fight happening. And you see, Malphite's bullying the Kayn. Jarvan is in the area. Ornn probably not going to be able to do that much. Jarvan doesn't land, sorry, his EQ. He goes down. Jarvan going to look for this ult. Can he get it in range? He's looking. He's probably spamming R right now. Doesn't get it in time. They'll push top lane in. Meanwhile, Morgana, by the way, is here. Malphite ultimate lands. Knockup nearly lands with the ultimate, and they get the kill. Really nice Malphite ultimate. That was lovely. Again, the best Malphite players are ones that do ultimates that you don't really expect. Because the higher rating you go, again, people have better reaction time, they've better mechanics, so it's a lot more likely they're going to just flash your ultimate if it's an ultimate like, where all 5 people are standing in mid. 3 of us are on top of each other. Oh, Malphite's about to ult us. Well, that's obvious, and the better players will just flash out the way or react in time. So really good players who play Malphite, they do ultimates randomly, like just out of nowhere. And a really good Malphite player won't necessarily look for that 3 or 4 or 5-man ulti because it's so rare. They know how big a single pick is, so they will just go for a singular pick every now and then because the value of it is actually very, very, very high. What I like, by the way, is the Jarvan, and what my kind of thought of doing a Jarvan game was does he feel out of touch? You know, does he feel too old in this game? And the answer is no. Like right now, you know, Malphite's an old champion doing good too versus a modern version, Ornn. Jarvan feels good. His damage is pretty nice, his utility's good, the knockup, and that's the one thing to say is the knockup is a old knockup. The EQ, that it's like a skill shot that you can easily miss. If you look at a lot of moderns, they're not like Jarvans, they're more like Kayn's that it's like you just press an ability and it's a massive knockup that goes in a singular line, or a point and click knockup or something like that. Like Jarvan's is an old school knockup, and then if Jarvan got, finding the Kayn going to be in trouble here, is smiting to get some health. Boom, there's a big damage, but Kayn does actually avoid a bunch of damage. Jarvan going to go back to his pole, which he always can do. Re-engaging with a nice Caitlyn ultimate there. Jarvan is going to go down in the end, though, and that will be that. So the problem, obviously, with Squishy Jarvan is the squishy. So he can die pretty easily. Unfortunate Morgana ultimate missing. Lucian very low, though. Akali did go down. Ignite from Ornn coming through with an Ornn ultimate. Where is this happening? I have no idea. Oh, wow, they actually do land it, though. Malphite going to tank a little bit and is going to go for the Lucian. Does get the flash kill and has the confidence to be like, can you guys kill me? Will he die? He doesn't even die. He nearly kills Ornn. I tell you, man, this Malphite is doing really good. And, you know, Malphite is a good champion within his means. Unfortunately, though, the Caitlyn keeps dying. If you guys have noticed, I didn't mention it the first time, the Caitlyn a few minutes ago died in a 1v1 to the Jhin. She just died to him again in a pure 1v1, and that looked like she died under tower. So I don't really know how that's happening, but it is. Jungler's skirmishing again. Kayn is now red form, though. Jarvan is going to follow him. Malphite teleporting in, not wanting this to go in a bad way for his team. Kayn is definitely in trouble here, and Morgana will finish off the kill. Dragon now is up, so that's actually a very bad death for Kayn, who is now 2-7. Again, challenger game being 2-7, mid laner being 1-5. Feeding happens in every single rating of the game, and arguably actually last season was too. The game, I'd say right now for the last few years, has been a lot more snowball based than years before. There have been some seasons that were like very snowbally, like season 3 was quite snowbally, and then they toned it down, I think in like season 5. But like season 9, season 10, it is snowbally. For a couple reasons, like again, we've spoken about catch-up mechanics and jungling. They've gotten rid of those, so right now there's a 2-level difference within the junglers. It's very hard for Kayn to actually catch up with that, because there's no catch-up XP. Big Jarvan ultimate, gonna do some damage. Malphite very low, is going to survive for now, but Kayn is looking for the Malphite, is going to get him with the ultimate. Dead Malphite. Kayn, good bind by Morgana. Caitlyn damage going to come through. Doesn't get a trap, or does maybe. Jarvan is hunting the Lux, by the way. She is going to go down, most likely. She flashes, but I don't think she should have, and she will go down to the nice Q of Jarvan. So has got himself his Black Cleaver, by the way. If I had to guess what he'd go next, and again, I haven't looked up item builds, he'll either start going tanky now, or if he's going to commit to I am going damage, honestly, Edge of Night could be quite good. because, again, he's an older champion. He has to kind of run at people to get that engaged. So the Edge of Night spell shield could actually be quite useful for him. Morgana finds the Kayn, does get the kill. And yes, Kayn, by the way, ran all the way, I think, into the base of red team. And yeah, the Kayn now 3 and 8, Lucian 1 and 6. Top lane, Ornn 0 and 4. Ornn still pretty strong as a champion. I think, again, people just kind of got bored of Ornn. That you can still play him quite effectively. He is good. He is tanky. He does more damage than he probably should. And you also give your team, items that the enemy team cannot get. The upgraded items. They are strong. Also, meanwhile, Lucian died to Akali again. So Ornn is good, but I think so many top laners, I just got bored of playing Ornn and playing against Ornn that he just got lower in popularity. But if you like Ornn, he's still good to play. Jarvan with this blue buff is not minding at all using his EQ to move around the map as fast as possible. Again, not normally something you do because Jarvan, well, his mana costs are okay, but, you know, you don't want to be running around Meanwhile, Akali is in the enemy jungle looking for something, doesn't get anything in the end, and a group in mid lane is looking to be happening, seeing if they can break the tier 1, which would obviously open up the map a lot more. Ornn coming over. Jarvan looking for it, is finding the thingy. Wow, you're dead. Jhin gets double ulted by Jarvan and Malphite. Akali goes down, but they do get the Ornn under the tower. Malphite now tanking. Kayn coming in. Tower going to go down. Nice bind by Morgana. Jarvan with the knock-up does get the knock-up, and then Caitlyn gets the kill. And now the momentum is purely in red team's favor completely. And, you know, what does the red team have? Wave clear. Well, again, a lot of the time, if you look at, like, standard League of Legends, a lot of really good wave clear is either your AD carry or a mage. Mages, obviously, can just one-shot minion waves with their spells. Well, you know, you've got Lux support. It's not really, you know, that's your support. You have a Lucian in mid lane who has an AD carry. He dies again, by the way, to the Malphite over here. Lucian's low-range AD carry. Not the best wave clear in mid lane when you're trying to stop the enemy team snowballing. Jhin, you know, he has not the best wave clear for an AD carry. His Q's good, but he has 4 bullets. So if he can't always land all the bullets to clear the minion wave, or he can't get in range, he can struggle as well. So yeah, the enemy team are also missing that. Oh, we're behind. We need to slow down the enemy team. They don't have that. You know, there are some mages that are fantastic at doing that. And Nivea, for example, Ziggs is great at it. They're missing that component. But obviously that is the risk. That's the point. Lucian picks Lucian to snowball. He didn't snowball. You're in trouble. So it's a good lesson. But as for Jarvan, oh, okay, that's what he's doing. Okay, I forgot about that item. Never forget about Death's Dance, everybody. Yeah, so Jarvan's going Death's Dance third. Again, arguably the strongest item in the game right now. Would you agree? Let me know down below. Very strong item. Obviously, we do have the mythic items being introduced into the game in pre-season. And they obviously will be the new strongest items in the game. I will say in upcoming videos, you may hear me mention this as well. I can't talk about specifics, but yesterday I was involved in a Riot dev meeting all about the upcoming changes with items, ranked ladders, and everything. I've learned a lot more about these items and ranked in Season 11. And it's interesting, so I can't say exactly what. You'll be learning about this stuff soon. But mythic items, yeah, they're going to be strong. Definitely. But anyway, Dragon spawning. Jarvan has not given up a single objective right now. He's had the 1 Rift Herald. He's had both dragons. He's backing off at the moment. Finds a Lucian. He does go down to the Malphite, who's again had a great game. 8-1-6 Malphite. And the dragon will go down unless Kayn can steal. And like we said earlier, reminding people, the XP difference in the jungle. Meanwhile, hello. Jarvan finds a Lux. She goes down. Yeah, if you look, Kayn is level 9, Jarvan's level 13. That 2-level difference is now a 4-level difference. And there's nothing this Kayn can do. Literally nothing. That is arguably a rage quit from Jhin. The game is not over yet. And you, again, unless they've early surrendered, which we can tell they haven't. So that would be considered a rage quit. Tower being tanked by the Malphite. He just doesn't care about towers right now. The tier 2 goes down. Morgana survives. And yeah, this is a nice performance. Really well played by Jarvan too. He's been quite core to this game. You know, he's got 12 assists. And those assists were quite well spread out from all the lanes, really. And he's had insanely good objective control. And, you know, the answer that I wanted watching this replay, we're watching Rank 1 EU West, is does Jarvan feel too old to play? Like, is he too out of date? No, I really don't think so. And there's Jin. He's realized the game didn't surrender early, so he doesn't want to get reported, so he's come back. But no, honestly, he doesn't feel out of date. There are some champions, and you can let me know what you guys think. There are some champions in the game that they do definitely feel out of date, and they just don't feel that useful anymore. You can still play them, obviously, but it feels a bit rough every now and then. EUW would be a great example of one of them, I think. But I think Jarvan has survived quite well. But I think when it comes to a different group of champions, a lot of the right-click auto-attack champions feel quite old. Master Yi, Tryndamere, etc. But arguably Jax actually feels okay. In that kind of group of champions, he doesn't feel as old. So it's interesting. It's a great topic to have. What champions do feel too old in League of Legends nowadays. Mundo is definitely one, but obviously he's getting that rework that we've had the preview of at the end of the year or early next year, one of the two, which is good. But yeah, Baron is being started. Jarvan has completed his Death's Dance, and this will continue the 100% objective control that the Jarvan has had this game. The only thing that he didn't do is take the second Rift Herald. He did have an opportunity to do it, but he just didn't go for it. It did despawn in time for Baron coming up. But the Kayn has had nothing. Again, maintaining that 4-level difference in the jungle. Kayn level 10, Jarvan level 14, and now with this Rift Herald that he's probably going to use for top lane. I doubt he'll use it for what's happening now. Jarvan is going in. What is happening here? Oh, okay. So what might be okay, Jarvan just killed the gym. What might be happening is some people on the enemy team are like, the game's over, end the game. And then Jin or something's happened that's like, wait, no, I'm going to keep playing. But the game is over, the enemy team have surrendered. That was weird, but Jarvan literally just ran into the enemy base and just hunted that Jin. But there we go. Jarvan feels good. I might actually give him a go in the next couple of days. He's a champion that I enjoy. You would have seen probably earlier today or the day before a Vi game. It's surprising. Like I in my head don't think Vi is a old champion. I'm just going to very quickly look up Vi League of Legends. Her release date was 2012. December 2012. So Vi is again nearly an 80-year-old champion. That's crazy. Vi doesn't feel old in my head, but she's really old as a champ. Same with Jarvan. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, that was Jarvan in the jungle, rank 1 EU West. Didn't feel out of place, felt strong, felt good. Utility was there, objective control, didn't feel weak with his damage, because that's sometimes what happens, is all these new champions come out with crazy damage numbers, and the old champions are like, we don't do that damage. How are they doing that much damage? We're not allowed to do that. But Jarvan did decent damage. He could fight a Kayn, and Kayn is also a pretty strong champion, so not bad. But that was rank 1 Jarvan, well, actually, rank 1 player, and also technically, well, would you say rank 1 Jarvan? I don't know. But that was the rank 1 EU West player currently in solo queue. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, though. If you did, do throw a like on the video. Let me know what you want to see in the upcoming. Obviously, as I said, I will do a Samira episode in a challenger game so we can see how they deal with Samira. And I might even try to find a loss of Samira. So like a half-an-hour game, so not like a 20-minute stomp, a half-an-hour game of Samira that she doesn't feed, but she loses. I think that could be interesting. Maybe that's more interesting than just watching a Samira stomp in Challenger. But anyway, if you guys would be up for that, let me know down below. Like the video, comment down below. See you guys next time. Peace.